Good morning. I'm really really excited to speak with you today. I mean, 40 about 40 years ago, you started your journey in the industry, and then you're
Honestly,
still bubbling. And I think one of the things that I found quite interesting is the fact that you know you started 40 years ago, and you are still very active in the industry. So it's really really it's very very it's a very very a great thing indeed. But maybe we should start, again, let the viewers know. I mean, they know you. Good wine needs no bush. But then let's probably start from the very beginning. So
I
who are
don't. I
you?
really. I don't know. We've had this conversation so many times. I really don't know what is new, but I'll try and do a quick run through.
Yeah,
I was born in Nigeria.
yeah.
I was born in Lagos, and I'm going to be quite emphatic
Mm.
because I was fortunate to be part of the contingent from Nigeria to the London Olympics. I played a role as
Mm.
Baruka on stage.
Mm.
And a lot of people questioned the fact that I was born in Nigeria and I grew up in Nigeria. I said, no, my education started here, and I grew here. So, yes, I went through my primary education here. I was fortunate to attend Corona School in Victoria at the time. Then I went to Government College, Ojo, where I was a pioneer student.
Yeah.
Then my A levels was in FSS. Back in
Mm.
the day, I think it was a natural trend for most of us. Then I went to University of Lagos for my first degree, where I
Yeah.
studied linguistics. I came out with honors, and then my master's was international law and diplomacy. Past post then Unilag. Then after that, I'd done quite a bit of small courses here and there,
Yeah.
just to grow because it is actually incumbent on an actor to investigate into characters. So what we do unconsciously, if you have to work, for instance, in the area of public health, you do small short courses to help you understand the terrain and what you want to do. So a lot of those small courses have been we managed to throw on so as part it's somewhere in the portfolio that we don't really announce as such.
Sure.
What else is there to know about me? I managed to enjoy some level of appointment as an administrator. I was a member of the board, governing board of the Film and Video Censors Board until last year. So that's basically all of it.
Yeah. Let me start with that. Yeah. Again, in that board, and of course you won the there was an award given to you by
I
the
got
Actors Guide in
the
2018.
I can't remember when I stopped having awards. They come in every
They
day, and I
come in
thank
every day.
God for various levels of recognitions from really young people to organizations to institutions. I mean, it's been a journey through my path.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean,
Yes, of
I have
course.
worked with all kinds of people.
Yeah.
I'm an ambassador,
Yeah.
in several fields, like on the cancer platform, I'm also an ambassador of Nigerian Heart Foundation. So you understand
Yeah.
why sometimes some of our activities tend to be recognized not
Sure.
only within the industry, but we also impact outside of the industry as
Yeah.
well because of what we do.
Yeah. And I know that in the industry too. I mean, which is again, when one looks at what you have done. I mean, you've done TV, very very important programs.
Yes,
Serials,
okay.
pivotal programs.
I was hoping that we would have
Yeah.
to run through the rail because I'm even beginning to
Yeah.
forget.
Yeah.
Time is beginning
Yeah.
to erode some of the memories, but
Yeah.
time is beginning to erode some of the titles, but the memories will never forget. The memories and the experiences we'll never forget.
Yeah.
Yes, most of us started out from
Yeah.
NTA, just or anything affiliated with NTA at the time. I
Mhm.
started off with Tadio Gino,
Mhm.
or TV soap,
Yeah.
and a Tele movie at the time was in
Yeah.
1984.
Yeah.
So then I served with NTA, and then it became more frequent, and I got on one or two popular soaps at the time. When I got on Ripples was the most popular of all the soaps at the
Yeah.
time. But I know I've been on about 4 or 5 other soap
So
as well.
and there were
I
the
can't
very
remember, but
important ones. Yeah.
well, they've been good. They've been good. Doctor Porters. I can't remember all the names right now. But for me, it's it's exciting sometimes, And don't forget this conversation we're having. I wasn't prepared for it.
No,
So,
no. I mean,
so,
I,
so,
I
so, so
understand
I can't recall all the
all the
titles. I
titles.
can't
Yes.
even remember the years
Yeah.
because I live in the moment for progress. So it's for me. I'm coming out of a conference right now to attend to this, and my mind is still also choked up with discussion. So I might not be able to be that
Yeah,
fluid.
I think the most important thing for me, actually,
Yes.
why I mentioned that, the soap, and then, TV, then the video, then the movies, is one fact. I mean, you didn't go to school to train as an actor.
No, but I told you I did some small courses everywhere. Yes,
Yeah,
yes. So I didn't train 4 years in university,
in university for
and that's
acting.
why
Yeah.
for me I believe that your passion can take you the distance.
Exactly.
Your
Yeah.
passion can help you build. You don't
Yeah.
necessarily need 4 years.
Yeah.
You need interest. You need your passion. You need humility to be able to listen to instructions, and then you just need to just do small studies.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
for me, I think it's a mark of professionalism. I mean,
Well,
again, because
that grows. That grows because
yeah,
I'll tell you what it is.
yeah,
By the time we finished with NT, and by the time we had, um, should I say, the fourth level
hmm,
of or fourth era of filming in Nigeria,
yeah,
let's say the video film industry,
yes.
with the advent of living in bondage, my colleagues and I said, how on earth did we allow this man blaze this trail before us? So we
Hmm.
went ahead and we produced the second film in Hollywood. I produced the second film in Hollywood,
That's interesting. I
The
don't know
Unforgiven
about that.
Sin at the time. Yes, we did. And we thought it would come out. But we were slightly too enthusiastic. We were not well versed with marketing. So
Hmm.
we're not as successful as Living in Bondage, but we were more successful because we came out with a superior material.
Hmm.
I mean, we had people who had been processed through the system. Every one of us had been processed through NTA. We had some of us had formal, some of us had informal trainings, and then we managed to put that together. It also addressed a significant course, the Osuka system, which is
That's very interesting.
or was or still is
Yeah.
prevalent in Igbo land, some segregation kind of thing. We addressed it, and it ruffled a few feathers back in the day, but we had a lot of support when we were researching materials.
So what was the title of? Oh, I
The
think
Unforgiven
Bond
Sin.
mentioned that.
Yeah, The Unforgiven
You
Sin.
did that with Bond.
The one wasn't on that project.
Okay.
There was quite a heavy team. There was Fred
Okay.
Amata, there was Emmanuel Oluwa, Obi Osotile, there was me as the producer. We introduced a lot of people into filmmaking. As a matter of fact, Sam Lokitu, that was his first film in his life. I like to count many. The industry also, we also brought on people like Zakoji, and so millions of actors started off, had the opportunity from the film. We created that opportunity for a lot of people to find or realize their passion, and we're happy that we have children, great grandchildren in the industry who are also doing very, very well. You know, so that's where it was, and um, as we grew, we also
Yeah.
began to appreciate the fact that one of the reasons why Kenneth Neboe's Living in Bondage was better than his first 8 early attempts because he had done movies in the past in Yoruba language. We ascribed that or attributed that to a number of other factors. One, the language medium was Igbo.
Hmm.
And if you understand the characteristics of the Igbo people, you also realize that they're not people who share. They're into ownership. So they identify with their own. There's some kind of clannish tendencies. So it's a job by our people. So they
We
bought
need to
into it.
support it.
They supported it. So it
Yeah.
grew.
Yeah.
That's one. Secondly, uh, around that time,
Yeah.
there had been a ban on pornographic materials.
Yes.
So we had loads of tapes waiting to be used. And instead of those tapes to be wasted, the marketers of those pornographic materials became
So they just dubbed it on
the
those.
double. Let's tell you what. Another thing that also encouraged the industry to grow was about the same time the government had banned civil servants from participating. So we had very, very well trained professionals who couldn't work outside the government. So a lot of them had pseudonyms. Even the director of Living in Bondage
Yeah.
was a staff at the time of
Of
NTA and worked,
NTA.
worked, worked.
Yeah.
with the
I
pseudonym.
met it. I met him in Abuja
You
a
met
couple of
him.
months
Okay, so
ago.
that's
Yeah.
what I was saying. So we had all that. And Paul, who was director of the first producer of Living in Bondage, was
Yeah.
also a product of NTA. So
Hmm.
he came in and he hired the best hands, all of them from NTA. And you could see that it translated. It actually marked the new era of film. It wasn't the first um, video film at the
Video
time,
film.
but
Yeah.
it was the first one that was remarkable. It was
Hmm.
significant
Hmm.
because of all of that. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
the industry grew, it grew, and it also, with living in bondage, we realized that there was a vacuum.
Mhm.
We had a lot of universities offering theater arts as a course. We had a lot of graduates, very few openings to employ or absorb all of them. That was one. Secondly, don't forget that most of the people who were bold enough to have even graduated at the time
I'm sorry.
were people who had to rebel against parents because, generally speaking, people thought about
Theater
practitioners in
was.
this as dropouts, never do wells, and just, okay, let my people go kind of a program. Right now, those people who abuse the industry are begging us right now to allow
Yeah.
their children put a foot in.
So the stone that was
So
rejected. Yeah.
this is the most celebrated. It's now the cornerstone of the Nigerian economy. You know,
Yeah.
so that's how it is. That's how it's been, and every year it's becoming more aggressive.
Yeah.
And you know, it grew in aggression and in creativity, and then it exploded when COVID came in. When
Hmm.
COVID came in and we couldn't relate, we started AI.
Hmm.
Informally, we
Hmm.
had to we had to find things to do. So skates exploded, more and more blogs exploded. It's unbelievable what our children are doing with phones. I mean, I don't even know how to maximize my phone. I use my phone maybe at best, do
And you
WhatsApp
make calls.
and make
What's that?
calls, WhatsApp and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But what these guys do on the phone, they shoot a whole movie on their phones, they edit on the movie, and they eventually they exploit the products out there without getting off from one spot. So that's the level of creative aggression we have in Nigeria that it's unbelievable to think about. You know, you can't begin to imagine how we satisfy the world with our products.
Yeah.
You know, yeah,
It's everywhere.
it is
It's everywhere,
unbelievable.
all over
I
the
mean,
world. All over the
everywhere
world.
when you're in Nigeria, anywhere you're in Nigeria, you should be proud. You know, everywhere, I mean, and every time I'm privileged to travel
Yeah.
and we talk about Nollywood, you can see the smile on my face. I feel
Yeah.
like a very proud father. You know what I mean? Like, it's unbelievable because I can only imagine what's going to happen next. I don't know. I know the future is leaning towards
Yeah, I mean,
telecom.
I can't imagine myself, especially, I mean, when you hear things like, especially the role. I mean, this particular interest to me. I mean, you've been part of it, from then, and then you are still in it. So, what's the secret?
It's good because sometimes sometimes when we teach the young ones, we tell them you have to invest, in your passion,
Yeah.
So when we do that, we are proud to find out that some of the young graduates we have go out buying very expensive phones. So as their work tools, so they build their workstation, but they don't know what to do beyond that point. It catches on, and nobody knows what tomorrow will be. But for us who have managed to be there, who are still there, as you put it,
Yeah.
we don't understand what the design of God was. We're just playing out His plans. We didn't plan it the way it's playing out. Many of us didn't know that it was going to be like this. So we're really excited that we're still there. We're still like, but it's for me. I think it's the best. What's the word? Best acknowledgement to still be considered worthy by your younger colleagues
Hmm.
because they run the business right now. The younger ones, the new entrants, they run the business right now. They came into the industry with a lot of aggression, but
Yeah.
with aggression, they came in also with a stronger desire to totally economically revive.
Yes.
You understand? So they
Yeah.
came in sharper. For those of us in the older generation, we're there for art's sake. There was love. So we're not as aggressive. But right now you can see the change is drastic. They're making life better for us. We didn't think as far as they're thinking now. They're thinking about that.
About the economic aspect of it.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, as well.
As well. Yeah.
It's not
It's not
diminishing. It's
just
not
honor.
diminishing creativity.
Not at all.
It's
Not
an
at all.
add-on. So
No.
the
Yeah.
industry is adding value as it goes.
Yeah. Not at all. And that, I mean, again, you mentioned something very important. This is one of the things that I found out, and that's really piqued my interest is the skits.
Mhm.
I mean, there's a lot of it. There's a lot of it in different genres, in different, in terms of the subjects, in different on different topics, and it's blossoming in Nigeria. Probably, perhaps, probably
No, I know it's
more
everywhere
than
in the
any.
world.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
excitement was
yeah,
once when I went into Kingston in Jamaica.
yeah.
Yeah, and everybody seemed to know me.
Mm,
Everybody seemed to know me. And I smiled again because Nollywood was my introduction. Do you understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
And every engagement I had was about Nollywood and practice and our practitioners. And all the questions were all about the whys. How did you get this level? But again, let's look at it critically.
mm, uh,
Prof, appreciate this from my perspective. Our industry would not be where it is today if not because of the dexterity and the drive and the determination of our youth and our creative practitioners. It won't be
mm.
because everything we have realized in Nollywood today is against all odds.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So the
That's true.
industry has improved because we first of all started with analog materials. Now we've grown into digital. It's
Digital.
easier, but it's the same process, my brother. The
Mm,
only thing that's changing per se, in real terms, is the aggression,
mm.
the determination. You talked about the skits, you talked about
Yeah,
the content of the skits.
yeah,
It reflects the Nigerian nature.
mm,
We are fundamentally a very happy people.
mm.
That's who we are.
Yeah,
So you see, we can find laughs in every situation, no matter how bad the situation. A Nigerian will always find enough time to laugh out loud.
mm.
I'm telling you, think about it, Prof. You
Yeah.
think about it.
I mean, I
And,
agree with
and, and
you.
I
Yeah,
know as I'm talking, I need
yeah,
to reflect
yeah,
on the skits you have seen
yeah,
and enjoy the laugh a
and
second
enjoy
time.
the laugh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I sometimes okay, I'll give you let me capture this scenario for you. There's this day we're driving into Lagos.
mm,
So in a coal bridge, on a coal bridge,
mm,
I saw somebody like on the phone and they were like recording.
mm.
Quite naturally, most of us were driving by slowed down to try and understand what was going on. It was later that I pieced it together. The guy who was acting like they were shooting a skit or a musical video was acting as a distraction to a filming session that was going down further down the road because of challenges perhaps in getting permits. See how brilliant our people are. At the end of the day, the same set of people who are supposed to issue this permit will sit back at home and enjoy what they were fighting against.
Mm.
That is how brilliant our people are. It's unbelievable to think about it. So every time you see those kids, just know it's coming out from a place of good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So the content of the skits,
yeah.
because yes, I mean we're talking about the entertainment aspect. Um, so a lot of them they deal with pivotal issues, very important issues. I
Hmm.
mean, they're satires
Yeah.
because again, this is one area that I'm thinking a lot of people laugh too much, but again, the
It
skits
provokes,
they
yeah.
say something
Yeah, they always have
very
strong
important,
messages. Yeah.
strong messages, but in such very subtle ways that
Yeah.
you know. And I agree with you. They grapple a lot with what is happening. They are making things. I mean, they're turning this stress and problems into something much more beneficial to
Hmm.
society and so on.
Hmm.
Um, so again, I mean, there's something about the Nigerian spirit.
There's nothing like the Nigerian spirit.
Hmm.
It's,
That's a good
it's
one.
formidable, and there's no way you can suppress it.